I want to get your thoughts now on Matheus Nunes, who's obviously come into the side last couple of games and he's impressed. He in the game against the Champions League last week, he contributed to three of City's five goals against Sparta Prague, one goal and two assists, and then he's assisted the only goal scored by Haaland against Southampton. I think when City signed Nunes from Wolves just over a year ago, I think many were maybe unsure as to how Nunes would fit into this Guardiola side and what maybe he would offer. So, was he going to play more of the defensive role, or was he going to offer more further forward? He's recently doing the latter now, and with Grealish and Doku out injured, like you said, Nunes has stepped up to play on that left side, and he seems to have been really effective. He's he's put himself about. He's sort of showcasing his ability now, and crucially, he's having an end product. So, what do you make of Nunes and his recent performances, and how much of an impact do you think he can have now in the coming weeks and months?
Yeah, I don't think anyone envisioned him being a left winger when we signed him. But I think the boldest of person wouldn't have predicted that. I was sort of got a slightly divisive opinion on Nunes. I think he's a good footballer. I think he is. Um, some City fans don't probably follow my view on this. I feel, look, the levels that Manchester City require as a central midfielder absurd. They just are. You look over the last decade under Guardiola, we've had some of the best to ever do it in the Premier League, full stop in midfield. It goes back a long way. City's excellent in midfield, you know. We look at Kevin De Bruyne, probably the greatest ever playmaker in the Premier League history. We look at David Silva. Actually, maybe he's the greatest playmaker ever in Premier League history. We look at Bernardo Silva, a truly world class midfielder. Phenomenal. Ilkay Gundogan, a treble winning captain. Then Rodri, Fernandinho, two of the best defensive midfielders ever to play in the Premier League. And then go back before that, Yaya Toure. The standards are so high at Manchester City in terms of central midfielders. Where I currently stand in Nunes is I am not quite sure if he can reach those levels. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think there's any shame of falling short of that. And I feel that Guardiola might feel that too, given how little he's played in the central midfield for Man City. But weirder things have happened in football than a player suddenly clicking and just getting it. And the only thing that matters when you're a footballer is sort of being on the pitch and feeling confident within yourselves to put those ideas together for the muscle memory to kick in from training and all that kind of stuff and play with confidence. Like so much of football is confidence and psychological, because a happy footballer is a better footballer. And Nunes right now, even though he's playing sort of out of position, he's involved and his goal contributions have just massively shot up. He's got a whole bunch of assists. He's obviously scored a couple of times this season. A couple, one, I can't remember. Yeah, a couple of times this season. He's having a really nice spell of form right now. And what I'm hoping personally is I don't see him as a permanent long-term left winger. I don't see that happening. I might be wrong there, but I feel like as soon as Doku and Grealish are back and fit, he might, revert back to being playing more central. I could be wrong. He could stay there. But I don't know. Nunes so far on left wing has played against Sparta Prague and Southampton. I mean this with the greatest respect to both sides, but they're not top level Premier League sides yet. So I want to see how he goes on. Momentum could carry him forward to actually get to the level required to be effective in games against Arsenal, Liverpool, the higher Champions League level games. But for now, he's on the pitch, and that's literally all that matters. I'm hoping if he keeps playing on the left, keeps finding a way to influence the game, then eventually, if he goes back more central, he has that confidence, he has that rhythm, and he can find a way into the team. Because ultimately, regardless of what I feel as a City fan about him, City need him right now. We really do. The squad is stretched, the squad is thin, and he does have attributes that a lot of our midfielders don't. That leggy stride he's got, he's so powerful. He can get back really well because he's got that pace. On the transition, getting forward, he's great. And of course, we've noticed as well the past few weeks, he's got a really nice cross on him, which is never going to harm you because Kevin De Bruyne, he's not going to reach Kevin De Bruyne levels crossing the ball, but Kevin De Bruyne out wide when he drifts into those channels is such a threat for Manchester City. And Nunes so far has, shown that he can do a bit of that as well, which is really useful. So Nunes is in an interesting place right now. I think even the staunchest of Nunes fans would be struggle to deny that he's got his chance through injuries. But even maybe the harsher critics like myself, a little bit of would have to admit that he's taking him right now. So he's in a really nice place where he's got his chance, but maybe by fortune and hard work and patience, and then he's taking it. And I just hope he carries on because I do want Nunes to succeed. I still not sure quite yet how good he'll be as a central midfielder if he can keep up the levels that City require, because City's levels are just best in class in midfield. But there's no better way to find out than watching him on the pitch and see if he can do it.